Hi there, I'm Marius, and today I want to talk to you about some differences when calling custom APIs via flows in Power Pages or via the Power Pages action solution. So first, some clarification. There's the possibility to call a flow from Power Pages when you're using the enhanced data model and your Power Page has a version greater than 9.5.4. You can check the version in the /_services about page, so here you see the version. And if you want to learn more about how this works and how you create the flow and call it, I invite you to follow the Power Platform Learners channels, which I will link below, as I just set this topic there on the agenda. And of course we can call a custom API from a flow. We just need to equip it with the Power Pages trigger and include an execute action step. An obvious advantage of this is the fact that you don't need a third-party solution. The Power Pages trigger, however, only supports a very basic set of input parameters, and similarly the output parameters are not equipped to pass out complex objects like entities and entity references. While Power Pages Actions offers this capability, you can also overcome this limitation by passing stringified JSON and then deserializing it in the flow or in the front end, depending on the direction of the parameter. The front-end code for calling a flow is of comparable size. You can see a sample here, but there is the need to build a flow for every single action you want to call. This may be neglectable for a few actions, but if there are dozens, this may be more effort than just define the Power Pages Actions configuration record, especially if there are many that need additional parsing due to complex parameters. And after we covered installation, implementation of the mapping layer, and calling a custom API, we need to deploy. For Power Pages Actions, you deploy your site and custom API, and then you still need to create the Power Pages Action configuration records. This can, for example, be automated by using Microsoft's package deployer. At first, the GUID in the link to call the flow might seem like a bigger problem for deployment, but it is the workflow ID of the flow, so while the ID is less descriptive than the operation name of Power Pages Actions, it does stay constant through deployment if you include the flow to the solution as well. One last advantage of the flow, it does not only support custom APIs, but it can also contain a no-code workflow definition, so being a regular flow. And that leads me nicely into the conclusion. You don't need to exclusively choose one or the other. You can start out with flows and then decide to use Power Pages Actions further down the road. Or if you are using Power Pages Actions, you can still use a flow when you have a good use case for a no-code integration. After all, if the current plan only has a few use cases for calling custom APIs in your Power Page, you might be covered by using flows to call your custom APIs. This is also the case if low-code or no-code is preferred. If, however, there is a lot going on your Power Pages and you have many use cases for high-code custom APIs, you might want to look deeper into the Power Pages Action solution to determine whether you will gain from its features. You will find a link to the repository with more explanation and video links in the description below.